Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. I'm back here. This is the end of Homestead, the property line where I started stacking branches and then going up and across. So what I'm doing today is setting up a food forest, setting up a property. If a food crisis happens, that it will hopefully take care of me and the animals. So with all those pumpkins that I got from Friend's Orchard that I said, I buy them for $1 a pumpkin after season, I'm down here splitting them in half, throwing the seeds all over in the dry creek bed, all over. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the different types of pumpkins because I got different varieties. I'm doing half of the pumpkin on one side, half the pumpkin on the other side. Then the next variety, same thing, the white pumpkin on and so forth. So if you are thinking food crisis is going to happen, if you think that the stores are already running out of food and we're starting to see once again the shelves are being empty, you need to be proactive. You need to do things to get everything set up. So here in Arkansas, as for those of you that have been following me when I was in Colorado, there's not as much of a food source in Colorado as there is here in Arkansas. So as you walk through the property, earlier this summer and fall, we saw the wild plums. I found wild plum trees. And then here you go right here. These are all over the place. These are walnuts. So we have black walnuts and another type of walnut. We have pecan trees. We have all different things here in Arkansas throughout the woods. So not only do I have a food source there, and then up on the other side of the mountain here, I have a big pine grove where pine trees, the Native Americans used to pull the bark off the pine trees. And there's a little thin tan strip in there between the wood and the bark. I think it's called the xylem or something like that. It's high in vitamin C. It's got all different minerals and nutritions that the body needs. And the Native Americans survived on that. In different elements and different climates throughout the U.S. So I have that. I have the walnut trees, the plum trees. I have the pecan trees. I have all different berry bushes out here, honeysuckles, you name it. There's so much out here in Arkansas, let alone the different species of insects that are edible, wild game, turkey, bear, deer, rabbit, squirrel, everything else. And now what else am I doing? I'm setting up pumpkins. So like I said, I have all these pumpkins here. I'm going to go ahead through Purdom Lane, going through the property. I'm dumping seeds on both sides. Now, of course, I did a truckload and a half of pumpkins to the animals. And then I'm leaving. I could be taking these pumpkin pieces with me up to the animals. But in my mind, it is more important to go ahead and give a little to nature. Not just that, if the animals don't eat it back here, it will break down, add nutrients to the soil. And that's what it's all about. Building your soil, building a life cycle, and building a sustainable property in order to survive a food crisis that could be coming. So get proactive. Get doing things like this, just throwing pumpkin seeds out. We saw that in Colorado when I threw pumpkin seeds all over the place. I had little pumpkin plants pop up. But of course, Colorado, at my elevation, didn't stay warm enough, long enough for the pumpkins to grow. Here in Arkansas, it's a whole different story. So this is a test of what I'm doing. Of course, I'm going to be putting out purple top turnip seeds again next year. I didn't do it this year, but I did it the year before, and we saw some of those turnips. I mean, they were huge, bigger than a softball. They did really well out here. I still have daikon radish seed. I'm going to be sprinkling out clover seed that I still have, and a couple things for the animals, so the animals can eat the vegetation. That turns it to meat. Meat is food for me, and it just continues the cycle. So get out there, do something, get garden going, get pumpkin seeds out, get squash seeds out, get zucchini seeds out. Just throw seeds everywhere. There's one thing we're not taught anymore, and I've said to a couple kids before about Johnny Appleseed, and they don't even know who Johnny Appleseed is anymore. And that's the sad part of where we are in society now is we push all that knowledge away. You know, Johnny Appleseed went out, planted all those apple trees by putting apple seeds everywhere. And then, of course, all the trees got taken down, so supermarkets could make money off of shipping vegetables and fruits in from other places, other countries. And then, of course, that makes the oil giants more money, and so on and so forth. But if we all went out, we threw seeds everywhere, we got different vegetables and fruits growing everywhere, we wouldn't be so reliant on the stores. So when the shelves are empty, we're able to survive the food crisis. So with that, do something, and remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be.